How's it going, everyone? It's Chase and welcome to another Fault tutorial video. With so many players new to the game and maybe new to MOBAs in general, I wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk about the basics of how Fault works, covering the map, the lanes, the jungle, and the objectives. Just a quick reminder, I do stream Fault almost every evening on Twitch, so if you want to see some live gameplay, ask me a couple of questions, or maybe jump in on a viewer game, come and stop by. There'll be a link down below. Firstly, let's take a look at the map. Both sides start at their team's core. The objective of Fault, just like any other MOBA, is to destroy your opponent's core before they can destroy yours. This is accomplished by destroying Tier 1 towers, found here, Tier 2 towers behind them, and inhibitors, which will spawn super minions for your team when they're destroyed. Just to clarify, you need to destroy the towers in order. For example, if I'm in the mid lane, I have to destroy the mid lane Tier 1 to get to the Tier 2, and so on. Also, you only need to destroy one inhibitor to get access and destroy the core, not all of them. I've seen a little bit of confusion going around about that. But the more inhibitors you have down, definitely the easier it is to destroy the core. So now that we know how to win, how do we actually accomplish that goal? Well, it starts with the lanes and the roles. Firstly, we have the duo lane, which is made up of a carry or ADC like Murdoch, Sparrow, or Twin Blast, and a support like Muriel, Narbash, and Steel. The carry is normally the main damage dealer on a team. They're hard hitting but low health and armor, so they're easily killed if they are targeted. The support's job is to protect the carry while setting up kills for them whenever possible using their stuns and slows. Next is mid lane. Heroes in the mid lane are usually heroes with good utility who still deal decently high damage. Gideon, Bellica, and Countess are common here as they can move around the map to assist the other lanes with their strong spells while remaining safe with their escape and stun abilities. Solo lane is the last lane, and as the name implies, it's a 1v1 lane similar to mid lane, but these heroes tend to be heroes who have strong sustain, meaning they're very difficult to kill. Greystone, Quang, and Sevarog are primary examples as they have high health and high armor, and they can get very tanky in the late game when they build items. These heroes usually become the frontline heroes in teamfights later on in the game. And lastly, we have the jungle. Junglers like Boris, Chimera, and Sevarog don't gain XP and gold by fighting their opponent and killing minions in lane, but rather in the areas between the main lanes known as the jungle and by attacking jungle camps. The primary objective of junglers is to gank lanes, which means to show up unexpectedly in a lane to kill the enemy players or to push them back and allow your team to farm more safely, and to assist in fights when your players are out of position or outnumbered. Just as a note, characters can be played in different lanes than what I've just described. For example, Sevarog is strong in jungle and solo lane, Bellica is pretty good in the mid lane or support, and we even see Murdoch as a carry, but he's played in the solo lane as well. Now we need to talk about the neutral objectives, the jungle buffs, red and blue, the Raptors, and the Orb Prime. Red buff provides an on-hit slow and burn, meaning targets take more damage and move slower. This is a great ganking tool for junglers and a great fighting tool later on for carries. The red buff lasts for 2 minutes. Blue buff grants 1% of your total mana as mana regen for 2 minutes. This is incredibly strong for mid laners who rely on using their abilities that stops them from going out of mana and keeps them in the fight longer. The jungle buffs respawn 5 minutes after they're taken and are found in both teams' jungles. Next is the neutral objectives, the Raptors and Orb Prime. The Raptors spawn next to the duo lane. Note that it is important for your carry and support to lane on the Raptor side of the map, always, 100%. This is because the Raptors grant bonus gold as well as favor that helps your team get stronger and more powerful. It is generally a good idea to let your carry get the last hit on each of the Raptors so they can gain the most power and therefore carry the game. Raptors spawn at 10 minutes initially. The whole team should rotate to the Raptors when it's decided that your team is going to take them, as the Raptors are often contested by both teams. And the Raptors will respawn 6 minutes after being slain. Orb Prime is the big boss on the map. Similar to Baron Nashor if you've ever played League of Legends, the Orb Prime grants increased power, health and mana regen, as well as minion health increases. It is incredibly strong and can very quickly influence the state of a game. The Orb Prime is difficult to kill, so it'll take multiple members of your team to fight it, unless you're a fed Chimera, and it spawns 20 minutes into the game. With these basic tips about how the roles work and how the map is laid out, you're already on your way to becoming a much better Fault player. While this video might have been a little bit on the basic side for some people, we do dive deeper into more specific roles, characters, mechanics, and more in our other videos. Thank you so much for the support, and I hope to see you in the game.